Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to Random Lifestyle Blog. So today we're going to talk about the new release from Carolina Herrera. This is Very Good Girl Glam. It's still in a box because it's a new-ish purchase for me. So this is the fragrance. And we're going to compare it to the original fragrance, which is this one here. This is Very Good Girl. I'm not even like mentioning the previous fragrances, the black stilettos, which were Good Girl. They're like so different that I think this seems to be more like a separate line. So we're going to compare only these two fragrances now. So looking at the bottles, as you can see, obviously the original one is like a red stiletto. This one is more like pink with some sparkly like bits here. Also, something I have to notice, this one is actually quite sturdy. This one seems a little bit like flimsy around the heel. I don't know why, but yeah, it's not like something that bothers me a lot, but I've just noticed that it kind of like, yeah. Anyway, so this is the way these bottles look. As for the fragrance, I'm going to start with the original one. This is the fragrance I purchased last year, and I was like, I didn't really know what to think about it. I kind of liked it, but at the same time, there was something so sour in it, like almost the point of like bitterness that sometimes gave me a little bit of a headache or was a little bit annoying to me. So I was like, I wasn't really sure what to do with it. But obviously I retried it this year, and to be honest, it doesn't really seem to be that annoying to me anymore. Like that bitter-ish note is not really that prominent to me at this point. So I guess my nose changed to some extent, but yeah, it's much more pleasant now. This is quite often described as a Delina dupe. I'm saying like dupe because obviously these fragrances are not meant to be dupes. They might be like inspired or similar, but I don't really see that much similarity. I mean, obviously this is like a rosy scent with some lychee, like a fresh kind of rose fragrance, just like the Lena is, but at the same time I don't really see that much similarity to it, which I don't mind because I'm not a massive fan of the Lena anyway. The notes. The top notes here are lychee and red currant, then middle notes is just rose, and then base notes of vanilla and vetiver. So quite simple, as you can see, sweet, fresh, a little bit sour fragrance, because obviously lychee and that red currant give me a little bit of like a sourness in here. So then we have the new release, and this fragrance, I'm going to start with the notes this time because, you know, you still probably remember the notes of the previous fragrance, so we can compare them. So the top notes here are sour cherry and bitter almond, and then middle notes of rose and lily, and then base notes of bourbon vanilla and vetiver. So you can probably notice straight away that the main difference is in the top notes. Instead of like those kind of soury fruity notes, we've got something a little bit deeper, and that's how I would actually describe this fragrance. This fragrance is actually quite focused on this cherry almond note, and this is quite prominent, especially in the dry down. The opening gives me a little bit more of what you can find in the original fragrance, but the dry down is actually quite different. The fragrance is, I'll probably say, like naturally sexy. This is not necessarily the type of fragrance I would just wear on a night out, but I still think this is sexy in a very kind of casual way. I think that's what I wanted to say. That cherry almond concoction makes it a little bit more like dark, a little bit more rich, but at the same time it's still like a very summertime feminine, ultra feminine fragrance. So how do these two compare? First of all, these fragrances are similar, but not like extremely similar in my opinion. I've seen some opinions that they're pretty much the same. I don't agree. I think these are quite different, even though these are definitely sisters. So yeah. What is different is the kind of vibe you get in the end, because these top notes are different. They do affect the dry down quite a lot. So the original Very Good Girl is a proper freshie. This is the summertime hyper feminine fragrance, very kind of like uplifting, very bright. This one is definitely much darker due to the cherry almond concoction. It's a little bit sexier, a little bit deeper, but just as sexy as the original one. So is there a point of having them both? I'm not really sure, because as I said, like, you probably prefer one of these. I think I prefer the Very Good Girl Glam. It's much more up my alley. I'm not really a massive fan of like fresh, super fresh fragrances. I learned to appreciate this one quite a lot, but I still prefer the Glam version. But I think most people will actually prefer one or the other. So I'll probably advise you to test these two fragrances, decide which one actually vibes better with you. Unless this is maybe your signature scent, then obviously having them both can give you like more opportunities. You can wear this one during the daytime and then maybe this time in the evening. They're both like a very springtime, summertime fragrances. I would not wear any of those in winter. They're definitely, yeah, even that one is actually definitely too bright for like winter or autumn in my opinion. So definitely summertime or springtime fragrances. They are both very pretty, they're quite unique. If you're looking for something that reminds you a little bit of Delina, then obviously this one is a bit better. Here we have a little bit of that cherry note, which, I don't know, it does not really give me any of like La Petite Robe Noire kind of heaviness. It's nothing like that. It's more lightweight fragrance. I can't really think of anything I could compare this to at this point. But this is definitely much fresher than La Petite Robe Noire. All in all, I think both these fragrances are actually worth recommending, although remembering my first impressions of the original one, I would definitely recommend testing this one before buying. This one might be a little bit safer, I suppose, but this one, not so much. Some people might actually find it a little bit too sour or bitter. So that's everything from me today. Thank you very much for watching. For more fragrance related content, check these videos here. I'm going to see you very soon. Take care, bye!